Sit in cash and don't F up. This has been my motto for the last week. And just today, the market decided it's going to take me up on that. The market is going down faster than you could have thought. And we completely saw it coming by using the outlier data. Now, because of this, we have had a leg up in the market and have been sitting in cash and not effing up. Right. So what we're looking at right now is we got the sell signal on the SPY today, Friday, May 23rd. And one other thing I saw that really helped me was the market breadth had been contracting and plummeted. Just yesterday, we had 400 names on the sell list. Today, we have 351 names on the sell list. If you are holding any stocks right now, I feel bad for you, son, because they have all kinds of problems, but holding cash is not one. All right, so let's take a look at the Outlier 9. This is where I want to start. And real quick, let me introduce myself. My name is Christopher Yule. I've twice been awarded top 100 people in finance. I was mentored by 5 of the market wizards, the best traders of all time. I've been successfully trading since 2009, and this is where outliers like us save time, make money, and start winning with less risk together as a team. So go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, I want to take a look at the Outlier 9 for the market. So first, this is what I call the slingshot setup, with 40% of the stocks moved due to the market, 30% due to the sector, and the last 30% due to the stock itself. Now, let's take a look at the market, and we're going to start breaking this down. First, we got a sell signal, right? We just saw a moment ago that we have a sell signal on the SPY. That's not good. We saw just a moment ago, we have a bearish market breadth. That's not good. Let's go look at the trend. The trend is established with the 10 over the 20 with price over the 50. And we do have the 10 over 20, prices over the 50, but we have some really strong contractions right here. Right? It's almost like you're going into labor. We've got some really strong contractions right here. We've got one close under the 10 EMA, another close under the 10 EMA, a third close under the 10 EMA. Now, why do I care about the 10 EMA? The 10 EMA is the indicator of the short-term trend. And you can see right here, when a stock is trending higher, it will stay above its 10 EMA the whole way. Right? Now, what you see on the chart right here are the different crossover points in the market breadth. So what you see right here is a not sell signal, but a bearish market breadth signal that came on January 31st, right here. And then what happened? The market went down. Then we had a bullish crossover right here. And what happened? The market went up. Then we had a bearish crossover on March 27th, right here. What happened? The market went down. And then we had a bullish crossover on April 11th. Here, what happened? The market went up. And we just had a bearish crossover on the market breadth. So I'm not calling for a crash, but what I am saying is that we have a sell signal on the market. We have bearish market breadth with a whole heap and helping full of sell signals coming through. And so I would not be touching anything in this market. We still have a bullish trend, but it's really, really started to contract like we talked about just a moment ago. Now, another thing additionally is the breadth. Every single sector, all 11 sectors, I don't know if you knew that there are 11 sectors, all 11 sectors are bearish. So you've got basically half of the Outlier 9 telling you right now is not the time to be holding anything, right? Let's even go to fear and greed. Someone from the chat, Emmanuel, thank you, Emmanuel, for this question, had a question about the sector breadth, the SPY signal. And it's about the general parts, how they can affect stocks like Google. So because Google's so big compared to every other stock in the sector. So what I want to do is I want to jump into Google, which I've got right here. Now, Google is still sitting on a buy signal. It is still sitting in a green overlay, meaning that the trend is up higher. But you can see the tech sector right here has bearish breadth. And then the tech sector also has bearish fear and greed, meaning less greedy, more fearful. Now, you've basically got, if we're looking at this, bearish fear and greed, and the trend is bullish here. The signal is bullish. The fear and greed just on Google is bullish. Let's go look for any outlier blocks on Google. Any outlier blocks up ahead? No outlier blocks ahead of it. So looking at this, I mean, you've got 5 out of 9 itty bitty baby steps of the Outlier 9. This is how I analyze the stock. The 9 itty bitty baby steps of the Outlier 9. 5 of the 9 are bullish. 4 of the 9 are bearish. Now, if I'm holding Google and I see 4 out of 9 analytical points here are bearish, I don't want to own this. I don't want to own this at all. But of course, that would be my plan. That would be my plan. So I need you to make sure you come up with your plan. Emmanuel, my friend, I hate to say it, but I would not be holding Google. Certainly not into a weekend right now where there's a lot of uncertainty with tariffs. Now, we made a lot of money a couple of weeks ago going into the weekend. And there were a lot of people here in the chat and on our Discord saying, are you sure you want to do this? If I had not have done that, if I had not have followed my plan, I would not have made any money so far this year. But because of that, I had a 27% return for the entire year, and it happened in a 6-day period. So follow your plan, stick to your plan. But I'll tell you one thing, dude. When you've got the Outlier 9 all lit up, it makes it easier. When the Outlier 9 starts falling apart like it is right now, might be time to take those profits and move to cash. So let's go to today's member highlight. I appreciate you, Emmanuel, asking that question. Let's go to our member highlight. I'm going to jump into our Discord. And while I'm going through the Discord, do me a favor. In the chat, tell me how you have used Outlier this week. And now that we've got the fancy little chat widget over on the side, you can actually see how people have been using Outlier this week. I would love to hear from you as we're going through this. So in the Share Your Big Wins section, let's see. Danish dude, he hasn't been active here in a while, but he entered a position a month ago and Outlier had a buy signal. Still not doing fancy stuff, just stock swing trades and writing 10, 20 EMA and price over 50. My exit strategy came today from Outlier, the sell signal on the SPY. So I exited all positions and he's now sitting all in cash and not effing up. And his results from from last month grew his entire portfolio by 13%. 13%. So Danish dude basically made enough money for a year and a half of regular SPY returns. So he can now take the next 18 months to go sit on the beach, and not do anything, and still get the same average returns as the SPY would have. How cool is that? How cool is that? Let's see. Senior Wahoo. When I am first in a trade, I set my half ATR on my chart plus an 8% stop loss. Okay. Once the trade moves up 8%, I move the stop with it. Outstanding. I still use all the Outlier triggers to roll up or exit, but add the stop loss in case there's something in the news that causes the market to tank. Check all my stops once a day to see if I need to adjust them. The bad thing about stops is that once they're triggered, it becomes a market order and you can get filled anywhere. That's why I tell people, don't use market orders. But it allows him the security to go about his day without constantly checking his phone or his PC. And Pete says, my only big win of the week is sitting in cash and not effing up, which is a very decent win in my opinion. I've been on the other side of that fence far too often, and he is done with that. So in the chat, let me showcase a handful of you guys. There's 91.5% of our audience is men, so most likely it's guys. Random guy says market breadth in Outlier is second to none. Absolutely. Let's see, shorting Disney, not long on it. Everything points down. Training professionals, very cool. Nico says price action, support, and resistance, keeping it very, very simple. Corey says, I've been using Outlier to review all my stocks and also check the market and sectors. Freelance human being says, I went to all cash early this week, so I'm not caught holding any bags or flipping any flapjacks, thanks to Outlier and Chris. Awesome. Awesome. Now, here's my very favorite part of the week. I get to give away some money. So if you posted in the Share Your Big Wins group, we had April, one of our team members, go through and already make the list of who posted in there. And there are 42, mostly gentlemen, I would imagine, who posted in this in there. So we are going to do, hold tight here, 2 different drawings for a $10 Amazon gift card, right? Just for fun. And we're going to go to random.org because I'm a random guy. Random.org will verify that I'm a human, and it's going to take a few seconds. There we go. Successfully a human. And we're going to put in the number from 1 to 21. And then we'll do a second drawing from 22 to 42. And we're going to do a third drawing, but only if you put SACADFU in the chat. You will not be eligible unless you put SACADFU in the chat. So you got just another couple seconds here. So the first one goes from 1 to 21. One of you, gentlemen or ladies, will be going home with a $10 Amazon gift card this week, which you absolutely should take the time to go buy some trading books with that $10 gift card, right? I tell you, the very best trading book I ever had my entire life cost me $9.99. I have it right here. It is this one right here. Teleport. Straight from Half Price Books. This cost me $9.99. Looks like I bought it in 2019 as well. The very best trading book of all time that I have is called Trend Following. If you can get this version, this is the 2012 version. Highly recommend. There's multiple versions. I've read 2 of the versions so far. That between the two is fantastic. So the first person to win a $10 Amazon gift card and could potentially buy a book that changes their entire lives with that $10 Amazon gift card is number 21. That's pretty random. Let's go to Bender. Bender, congratulations. $10 Amazon gift card to you. Outstanding. Bender is one of our very active people on Discord. So definitely deserves it. Everyone say congrats to Bender in the chat. Congrats, Bender. Congrats, Bender. There we go. Oh, there's Bender right there. Let's go. Outstanding. Okay, next. From 22 to 42. Hang on, I messed this up last time I did it. I'm not going to mess it up this time. From 22 to 42. You thought I was going to mess it up. From 22 to 42 is number 30. Number 30 is... I need to turn that alarm off. That alarm is to go pick up my kids from school. They're out of school for summer now. Number 30, and that is... who's number 30? Jorge. Jorge. Outstanding work, Jorge. Congratulations. Let's all say congrats to Jorge. Congrats to Jorge. And then, let's not stop there. Let's give away something. This is one of the perks of watching live. 164. There, we have nearly 400 people watching live, but less than half of y'all decided to type hashtag SACADFU in the chat. I can't help you. But I am going to give away an Amazon gift card in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, who's it going to be? If it lands on me, which is unlikely, then I'm going to redo it. It's Patrick. Congrats, Patrick. So, Patrick, do me a favor. Shoot us an email over at support@outlier.com to let us know your email address. And April, on Tuesday, because Monday the market is closed, April will ship you that $10 Amazon gift card. So congrats to Patrick. Congrats to everybody. I love Fridays. I get to give away money. That's so much fun. Isn't it fun that we get to listen? It's $10. It's not going to change the world. But if you use it correctly, it absolutely can change your entire life. I am living proof of that. So be sure to share your stories in the Discord. Thank you so much for another ad. Clearly, I've been watch shopping. Thank you so much for sharing your stories in the chat that I can share on the screen right there. And let's get back over to here. So continue to tell me your success stories in the chat. And listen, the way that you can pay me back is by telling everybody you know about Outlier. Because the first rule of Outlier, you should tell everybody. And of course, you hit the like button. Now, what is Outlier and how does it work? Old Uncle Warren used to say, be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. Outlier shows you if investors are acting irrationally fearful or greedy and by how much, allowing you to get into the stock before the Outlier move happens. Now, if you're ready to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk, you can do that. You can do that in just 3 easy steps. Number 1, head to outlier.com, pick up the annual pass for just 82 cents a day. It's unbelievably cheap for the amount of value that you can get from it. Like in the chat, just express how unbelievably good of a value that is. I mean, I made enough money last week to pay for Outlier for basically all of my lifetime and my children's lifetime and my children's lifetime and the 3rd generation of that. That's how much money I made in a single week using the data on Outlier, and all the receipts are on YouTube. Unbelievably good deal. So if you are on the monthly pass, you can do a 1-click upgrade and save 64%. Definitely worth your time. And step 2 is start using the Outlier 9, the framework that I show you every single day, because it is the very best analysis that I've ever seen ever. And I've proven it day after day. Step 3, sit back and relax because you just found the easiest way to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk. Now, my style of trading using Outlier is called the golden ticket trading strategy. And it starts with seeing what the market's telling us. So first, we're going to look for the SPY on the market. Actually, we've already done this, right? We've already done this. We already know that the trend is bullish. We know that the signal and the breadth are both bearish. Let's go fill those in real quick. And we also saw that all the sectors are bearish. But now, let's take a look at some of your stocks. Throw them in the chat. Put them in the chat. Brian says, I just paid for my kids' accounts for the last 2 weeks. Yeah. Lars says, it is so cool. No MoFOMO. And to have something concrete to follow other than Jeremy. Yeah. Having these 9 data points makes this so stinking easy. But I want to help you. So put some stocks in the chat because I want to go through this with you, right? We went through Google earlier. I can go through a handful more with you if that's all right. Victor wants to look at ET. Let's go look at ET. So first, let's go to here, ET. Let's make this bigger. And let's make this smaller. Okay, so ET. Let's fill out the Outlier 9. So we already know the trend on the market is bullish. The signal and breadth are bearish. Fear and greed on ET. So this is in the energy sector. We can see the fear and greed. It peaked on greed and is actually pulling back in, getting slightly more fearful. It's no longer getting more greedy. So let's mark this red. Right. Isn't it? Type the word easy in the chat. If now actually, instead of like blindly looking at a stock, you can see I look at A, B, C, D. I look at the 9 itty bitty baby steps. Type the word easy in the chat if this is finally clicked and now you're understanding just how easy trading can get, right? It's effortless when you look at it from a analytical perspective and you know what you're looking for. So now looking at the stock, we've got a buy signal. It's got a bullish overlay. So those two will stay green. The fear and greed on ET actually peaked yesterday and is starting to come back down. So let's make this red. And then let's go look for any outlier blocks on top of ET real quick. No outlier blocks up here. Right. So looking at ET, right? How would I rank this stock? If I had a gauge, which I do somewhere, let me find my. If I had a gauge on this right now, looking at ET, it cannot be strong buy. It can't even be weak buy to me. This is neutral. This is neutral, right? So let's say there's well, hang on. Hold tight just a minute. 1, 2, 3. Only 3 of the 9 are bullish. This is a weak sell to me. Look at that. Isn't that easy, right? Now that we can see how these work together, we can say, okay, ET's a weak sell. I don't want to own this one anymore. Cicad view long. Let's see. Michael Badinsky wants to look at Comcast short. All right. So Michael, I am waiting to short until the trend comes around. Okay. I'm just putting that out there right now. Of course, follow your plan. But because the market's still trending higher, shorts are going to be difficult. But let's go look at Comcast. Let's close a couple tabs here, make it easier on me. Okay, Comcast. Oh, I know we have Comcast. Hold on, I must have typed something wrong. CMCA. Oh, CMCSA. Hold tight. I got it. I know we have Comcast. In fact, I'll give you a story right here. The very, 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 very first trade I ever put on with what used to be the like Outlier negative 3.0 is a website called FinClub, started by Mark and Mahesh, our 2 co-founders. And the very first trade I ever made was with Comcast. I'll never forget it. I put the trade on, I took a shower, I made $150 by the time I got done with the shower. I closed the trade and I was like, all right, lunch is on me. Like it was that fast. So that was one of those moments early on. I was like, okay, these guys are onto something. Now that's heads and shoulders below where we are right now in Outlier, because Outlier is so much better than anything you've ever seen. So looking here, we won't be changing this. Let's go to the sector. Sector breadth is negative. We see this. Sector fear and greed. We can see that it peaked on greed a couple days ago and is starting to get more bearish, more fearful. Okay, so nothing's changed here. And let's zoom in a little bit on Comcast. Okay, so it's actually not in a bullish trend anymore. It looks like it crossed out of that bullish trend a couple days ago. So this is going to go red for me. And then the signal is still a buy signal. Still a buy signal, active as of May 5th. So we've got 7 out of 9, Michael Badinsky, that show a, actually, hang tight real quick. I didn't check the CMCSA. Yeah, this actually looks like a pretty sharp setup to short. So if we have 7 out of 9, that would fall pretty close to strong sell. That would fall pretty close to strong sell. But of course, going against the market's going to be really tough, Michael. But looks pretty sharp, dude. Looks really sharp. Dana says, I started messing with the market late last year. I was making dozens of trades per day and watching constantly. Thanks to you, I'm much more relaxed and I know a lot more. Dude, that's how it's supposed to be. It's how it's supposed to be. It's not meant to be stressful, right? But Finance YouTube promotes that. Finance YouTube wants people to be all over the place, freaking out on everything. Launchpad. I think one of the most important things about Outlier is the like-minded community and all the brainiacs in this community. Dude, I love smart people. I am not the smartest person you've ever come across, for sure not. But I'm really good at making money on the markets, right? But there are some incredibly smart people around here. Andrew says, can the Outlier 9 be automated without having to manually check each one? I am going to push Mahesh, our CEO, to push this into the screener. Now, I don't know when it's going to be available, but my goal is to do one checkbox, right? Like this, like one checkbox, Outlier 9, and everything else fills in. That will be epic. And then what pops out here will be only the best stocks that you could possibly imagine. So I'm very, very excited about this. I would not buy it with your money. Exactly. Kev says, how do you know which sector a stock is in? Great question. So here in Outlier, when you run the screener, it actually pops up right there what sector it's in. But also, if you go into the individual stock, like this is Advanced Auto Parts, I couldn't tell you what Advanced Auto Parts is in. But then I can see right here, it's in the discretionary sector. It's pretty handy, right? Discretionary constituents. Now, this little chart over here is actually pretty cool. This shows you how fearful and how greedy all the companies are in that sector. So actually, this sector is full of greediness, and only a little bit of fear. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. And then if you look over here, it also says discretionary. So it makes it a little bit easier. Stocky Locky says, that is effing wild to add that. I hope so. That'd be so freaking sick. Automatic Outlier 9 would be epic. Integrating Outlier 9 widget in Outlier 4 sure would be nice. I agree. The Real Deal says, where do you see the trend? This is a fantastic question. This is something that I remember very firstly. In fact, great example right here. Early on in my trading career, and I covered this in Outlier University. So Outlier University, wait a minute, was that a segue? Hold tight.
Are you ready? Let's go!
Respect is earned. Respect is never given.
There we go. I had to hit the segue button, right? I had to hit the bumper. Every Tuesday and Thursday, live in the afternoons, we are having Outlier University, and I am teaching everything that I know. It's going to be a 9-week program, 18 total classes, and I'm telling you, if you pay attention and listen, I'm giving you everything you need to be successful. Let me repeat that. If you listen and pay attention, I'm giving you everything you need to be successful, and it's 1000% free. There is no paywall. It is on YouTube forever. Now, there will be plenty of people who watch this and they claim that Chris lost me money. Chris has no idea what he's talking about. Chris is losing all this money. Chris is such an idiot, and he has a big old nose and stupid hair. But then there's going to be people like you who are smart and are paying attention, and you will change your life, your family's life, and every generation after this. I cannot press upon you how important it is, the fact that I'm teaching everything that I know for free on YouTube. And if you get value out of it, the way you can pay me back is by telling everybody you know. So with that being said, one of the things that we did yesterday in Outlier University was I was talking about how when I first started trading, when I first started trading, it was really hard for me to understand what the trend was. And this is such a great example. So I'm really glad you asked that question. If we're looking at this, which way is it trending? Is it trending up? Is it trending down? I don't know. It's just going sideways, right? So first thing is adding the 50 period EMA. Whoa, that kind of lit up something, didn't it? The 50 period EMA takes the average price of the last 50 periods, okay? Now we can see when it's below the 50 period, it pulls the 50 period EMA down. So you can see very quickly, hey, you know what? This isn't trending sideways. This is actually trending down. Then next we add in the 20 period EMA. The 20 period EMA is your intermediate term. And this is also telling you it is trending down. This is not a stock that I would want to be owning as it's trending down from a long-term and an intermediate term perspective. And then lastly is the 10 period EMA. Now you can see this one moves a lot more, right? But what you see right here is the 10 under the 20, price under the 50 is a bearish trend. And trends change. Don't ever think that trends don't change, right? But we can see the path of least resistance has been going down. Now, there are times like this where the 10's over the 20, prices over the 50 period EMA, where you might make a buck or lose a buck, right? But in the great context of moves here, you can see where to get in and hold and where to get out, and then get in short and hold and then to get out. That is the power of these moving averages. That is why I can unequivocally recommend putting them on your charts, because they always work, because they are math. There are times where they're not the best entry and exit signals, but they show you the direction of the market, right? It's not going to be the most ideal, the most profit you could possibly make, but the principles always work. And this is one of those principles in the market where your short, your intermediate, and your long-term are all stacked in one direction. That's the trend. That's the trend you want to be on. So listen, if you're ready to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk, you should probably click one of these two videos and have a fantastic weekend. Don't forget the market's closed on Monday, so I'll see you back here on Tuesday.